Superboy number 12, written by Tom DeFalco, art by Eduardo Pansica and Robson Roca. Last issue, a bunch of robot stuff that genuinely does not apply to this issue. All you really need to know is that Superboy is currently living the high life because he stole a bunch of money, and also his landlady has the hots for him. And she's like a superstar as well. Anyway, they're out at a club, and Superboy is struggling to dance with her on the dance floor because he literally has never learned how to dance. And so he switches out with one of her other friends, and then we're introduced to the whole little group, I guess, that she hangs out with. There's a NBA star, some banker guy, some party lady, or party guy, and then a lady by the name of Jules Bennett. And she is given a specific focus for some reason, but it doesn't resolve in this issue. So anyway, Superboy's thinking like, oh, they're all introducing themselves, and I don't have a name. They called me Kon-El, which is a Kryptonian curse word, pretty much. So yeah, I got to work on that name thing. Anyway, so at this point, we flash back to when Superboy revealed to Bunker, his Teen Titans roommate or teammate, hey, I've got millions of dollars that I kind of just borrowed. And he's like, dude, if anyone else stole that money, we'd be hunting them down. That's what heroes do. And he's like, I'm not sure I want to be a hero if there's all these rules to it. But as soon as they start arguing, his landlady Dallas shows up, and she's like, hey, I lost the keys to my apartment. Mind if I crash in your bed for like a month? And he's like, yeah, all right, Dallas, I'm going to take you back home now. And so he opens up her apartment door, puts her in bed pretty much, and it's like, all right, bye. And then Bunker's like, dude, are you kidding me? You're not going after that? And he's like, no, why? And he's like, okay, if you want something that's not a superhero life, you can at least have the high life out with her. So I'm going to get you some cool clothes, and you're going out with them. So he does, and he's enjoying himself to the point where he has his first alcoholic drink, and he goes all the way full nerd on it. He's like, yes, let me see what they say here. Interesting. I recognize 4 distinct fruits as well as an organic compound with an ethane backbone. Yeah, no, he drinks it. It does actually get him drunk, but he can recognize that he's drunk, and he says that that's some sort of metahuman thing. Like, he's like, because of my metabolic rate. It's like, no, dude. People just know when they're drunk. Anyway, at a certain point here, the girls are trying to, like, hit on him, be like, ooh, and what have you done interesting? And he's like, I battled the Teen Titans in Times Square. And they're like, oh, you're such a kidder. And he's like, yeah, totally. And then all of a sudden he gets really paranoid. Like, he's like, something's wrong. I have an impending sense of doom. And he looks around and he finds this lady who's got bodyguards on either side. And as soon as that lady shows up, Dallas dips out. And he's like, okay, well, this lady's clearly bad news. Let me use my abilities to fight against her. And he tries to use his abilities, but they feedback on him, and he flies across the room. And everyone's like, dude, what happened? Oh, geez. And he's like, yeah, nothing. I'm just going to go out back, see what's going on. And he follows out the woman who is also following Dallas. And Dallas is currently being, like, hit up because she is in a lot of debt to this woman. And her name is Kiva. And she is the, quote, mistress of the lost domain, as we'll find out in a second. But anyway, she does something to Dallas. Superboy gets involved. And then she's like, oh, yeah, I felt your powers inside. That's why I turned them against you. I'm just going to do some weird stuff with your mind right now. And so her 2 bodyguards go and beat him up. But Superboy sees it as him being on some other planet. And giant aliens are attacking him. And we keep on cutting back and forth between what's actually happening in the real world and then what's in just his mind. And it's basically just one for one. He's just seeing them as aliens. It's not like he's, attacking other people. He's just attacking those 2. But anyway, he's getting in the fight. He ends up using his powers to get the alcohol out of his system, like manually. So he just puts his finger down his throat, more or less, but with magic. So he continues to fight. He gets the upper hand on them. And then Kiva comes in and starts doing like a mind crush on him. Just being like, oh, I will show you an eternal nightmare of the fear and horror. And he realizes, like, wait a minute, hold on. She turned my powers against me. Maybe that's her thing. Maybe if I stop using my powers, she can't do anything. So he stops resisting. He just doesn't push against it. And then Kiva gets something to happen where she sees some horrible thing inside his brain and then goes catatonic. And the henchmen pick her up and are like, oh, geez, all right, well, let's get her out of here. And Superboy goes down, talks to Dallas, and is just like, Dallas, what the heck is going on, man? What kind of mess are you in that you owe money to someone like that? Oh, geez, things just got a lot more complicated, and pan out on that. But then we get one-page epilogue of a clip show of all the horrible things that Superboy has done since he's gotten out, like stealing the money and battling the Teen Titans. And we see that Detective Jocelyn Lore is watching this on a super high-tech futuristic computer saying, oh, I helped you and Caitlin escape nowhere for a reason, and this isn't the reason. So either I become your teacher or your executioner. Okay, it's completely unoffensive. I wouldn't say good. I would never say great. It's just a thing. They're like, okay, let's just put Superboy in another situation that he is nowhere socially inclined enough to deal with, and then throw a weird superhero thing in there. Like, I think last issue it was, oh, Superboy's just hanging out with Bunker in an apartment and getting tattoos. But then it's, oh, nope, but now there's a giant mecha robot. And that's just going to be what we do. That's what we do. I'm personally don't mind it, but I also don't like it. It's just a thing that's happening. It's like, it feels like they're treading water with the character while they're trying to find something to really do with him. But this is all they're coming up with, is just more little, oh, because we can't take him too far away from the Teen Titans because those books are linked at the hip, but we also can't do anything with the Superman family because he's not really a part of that. So we'll just kind of be here until some event needs us to do something. It just feels like treading water. It's not bad. They're doing the best they can, it feels like. It's just not great either. So overall, I got to give this one, I'll give it a 6. And again, that's mostly because it's not offensive. It's fine. They don't do the thing, except for all that nerd talk in the middle of like, oh, it's made of ethanol. It's fine. It's just a whatever book in general.